Hey, what's up everyone? So today I'm going to go over a tutorial on this effect that I just recently learned. It's called the 3D Stereoscopic effect, and I'm going to be adding a morph cut transition. Yes, that's a handful. It sounds complicated, but if you follow these steps, it's actually pretty straightforward. So I've seen this effect around for a little while now, and I've been meaning to try it out, and I finally found some time to do it. Please note, this is my first time trying this out, so I just want to show you what I've learned through this process of trying to achieve this effect and transition. So the first time I actually really got inspired to do this is when I saw this effect, saw the 3D stereoscopic effect done by a local videographer here in Vancouver. His name is Corim. I will link his Instagram on the description below. I've also seen on TikTok where people have also used the 3D stereoscopic effect with a morph cut transition, where the person is in one position, morphs to another position, and then morphs to another position. It'll make sense once I get into the edit. So first things first, I'm gonna drink my coffee because it's really early in the morning right now. That hits the spot. I can't show you guys how to take the photo because I'm recording with my camera right now. I didn't record any BTS for this because this was a last minute tutorial that I wanted to do for you guys. So I'm gonna use my phone. So what you do is have a subject, whatever it is, a person, it could be anything really. And what you're gonna do is, what I did at least, is have my phone, or not my phone, my camera on burst mode so that I can capture several frames as I'm moving. So say that the subject is right in front of me, camera's on burst mode, and then I'm clicking the shutter and moving to the right. So I'm kind of orbiting around the subject to the right as I'm clicking the shutter. So I'm getting several frames of the person in one position. I like the orbit effect because I want the person to kind of have this like movement from right to left. You could also do this effect going forward or backwards, but I found orbiting around the subject to be the most interesting way to achieve this effect. Alright, so let's just get into the edit and dive in. So the first thing you're going to do is import your photos into the editing software of your choice. For me, it was Lightroom Classic. And you're going to choose 3 to 4 frames for each pose that you took of your model. It could be 3 to 4 frames of the model standing, 3 to 4 frames of a tight shot of the model, maybe half body, and then 3 to 4 frames of a different position or a different pose that the model was doing. So just to give you an example here, I took these photos of the model. His name is Jeff. I'll link his Instagram below in the description. So the first pose, he's standing with his RGB light bar. It kind of looks like a lightsaber. It kind of adds to the effect of this photo and kind of gives that cyberpunk look that I was trying to go for. First position, the second position here, kind of like a half body. He has a light bar now on his shoulder. And then the final position, just a full body of the same position of his half body now with the light bar and full body. So 3 different positions is what I chose. I chose to pick 4 frames from each position. You can do 3 to 4, so whatever your preference is. Alright, so after you've edited your photos, what you're going to do now is open up Photoshop and bring them into Photoshop. And then you're just gonna check mark to approve all the photos. So after you've imported your photos into Photoshop, make sure all your photos are in the correct order. And what you're going to see now is my photos do not fill the canvas size right now. My current canvas size is set to 4K, which is 2160 by 3840. The reason my canvas size is in 4K is because when I export the video clip, I like to up-res all my content to 4K, even though it's not shot in 4K. It's just the quality looks better to me. It's set to what I want it for IG videos or IG reels and TikTok videos, and it just helps me future proof my content so that it stays relevant for the times basically. So what I'm gonna do is increase the size of this photo to fit the canvas. Control T for transform. Hold Alt so that it stays in position, and then just fill the canvas. Alright, so after you've increased the size of the photo to fit the canvas, what you're going to do now is hide all the photos except the first one. And what you're going to do now is line up each photo with the first photo. So I have the first photo highlighted here, and then I'm gonna click the second one to make it visible, and then I'm going to change the opacity around 50, and then I'm just gonna do Control T again, and then I'm just going to line up the photo with the first photo. And my point of reference is using Jeff's eyes here. Alright, I think I lined up all the photos to the position I wanted them to. Make sure you double check your work and ensure the opacity is back to 100 for all of your photos. And you'll notice on the canvas that some of the edges are not lined up. That's okay, as long as the photos are lined up according to the position of the actual subject. That is number one, 100% the most important thing. When we go into Premiere, we can fix the edges. So the next thing you're going to do is open up a timeline, and if you don't have this window here at the bottom, all you have to do is go to Window and click on Timeline, and it should show up. And now what you're going to do is create new timeline. And click on this animation button, I think is what it's called. These three little squares. It's going to convert all your photos into an animation. Right now the first frame is set to 5 seconds. To change the times here, there's a little arrow pointing down. I suggest to set all your photos to 5 seconds. So depending on how many photos you've imported, like I mentioned, you could do 3 to 4 frames for each position. For me, I did 4 frames. So right now I have 1 frame in the timeline, and I have to create 12 of them since I have 12 photos. So all you have to do is press the plus button here and click it 12 times in my case. Alright. I had an extra run, I have to delete that 13 one. So after you've created the 12 frames, what you see now is the first photo in each frame. So what you need to do now is assign each frame to each corresponding photo. So the first one is going to be the first photo. You have to hide the rest of them. And then click on the second frame and then assign it to the second one. Third frame, you want to click the third one, and then so forth. And if you ever get confused, you can click the first frame to see which one's the first frame, click the second frame to see which one's the second one, third frame to see which one's the third one, etc. So I'm just going to speed through this now. So now that you've assigned each frame to this corresponding photo, we can export it now into a GIF or a GIF, however you want to call it. I will go with GIF. So you're gonna go to File, Export, you're gonna go Save for Web. You're gonna change this to GIF, whatever. Change this to Adaptive, and these settings should be good here. And then you're just gonna press save, and then save it into the folder that you want. So the next thing you're going to do now is open up Adobe Premiere. I've already saved the GIF, so I'm going to import it into Premiere, which I've already done. What you're going to do now is place your GIF into the timeline, keep existing settings, and remember how I talked about if the edges look weird at the top and they're not lined up, all you're gonna have to do is click on the clip itself, go to Effects Control, and just change the scale size just so that it fits properly. And just kind of scrub through the video itself just to make sure the edges are all good. I'm just gonna scale it to 110. and I think the edges are all good to what I like it. I might even just move this up just a little bit here. So what you're going to do now is right click, go to speed/duration. You're going to change the time interpolation to optical flow, and since I did 4 frames for this, you're going to change the duration to 4 seconds. .04, and then it should change the speed to 1500%, and then press OK. Alright, so what you'll have now is like a 4-second clip. And to see how this looks, I'm just going to render it. So I'm just going to render it in and out. Now that it's done rendering, I'm going to play it back for you, and you're going to see the 3D stereoscopic effect with the morph cut transition. Alright, so to go that extra step, I added some graphics and some sound effects. I noticed Jeff was wearing a Nike sweater, so the first thing that came to mind was I'm going to use a graphic that says Nike on it. And then I have it saying the future is here, because it felt like a futuristic kind of, you know, spec ad, if you will. And then I added some kind of warp sound effects and placed it at the points where the morph cut transition was. And then just for the graphics part, if you're in a pinch and can't create your own graphics, Adobe does have essential graphic templates. All you have to do is go to their graphics panel, and you can just browse through their catalog. They do have some free templates, and then there are also paid ones. I found this cyberpunk one, which was really cool, so it kind of went with the aesthetic that I was going for. And you could also add music, which I did. I can't play the music because I don't have the rights to it, but what I usually do is I find a track in Instagram or TikTok, find that track, line up the video clip to that music, and then when I upload it into Instagram, I just find the music track and just, you know, place it over the actual clip itself. And to finalize it, I'll show you the actual clip from the beginning and end with the graphic, the sound effect, and I'm not going to put any music on it just because I don't have the rights to it. I do have a subscription to music services like Epidemic Sound. There's also other services like MusicBed and all that type of thing. Obviously, I am not sponsored in any way by any of these companies, but there are options out there if you want to use royalty-free tracks. Here's the final product without the music, just the sound effects and the graphics. So that took longer than I thought, but I think I nailed each point. If you like this tutorial or if you want me to do more, please comment below. Like, share, subscribe, tell all your friends. I do greatly appreciate it. I am really trying to push my YouTube platform right now just because I love video making, and honestly I love teaching people the things I've learned. Not that I'm an expert or anything, but you know, I've learned a few things over time, and I want to teach that to anyone that's willing to listen, because I don't want them to go through the same mistakes I've done in the past. And it's just, you know, pushing the craft, the creative industry forward in general, just passing that knowledge, you know. It's always a good thing. Also follow me on Instagram at Christian Zane Photography. I have a plethora, that's a crazy word, a plethora of content ranging from adventure, urban, street content. I have different reels there, IGTV, and all sorts of stuff. Also, if you have any questions or anything like that, you can leave a comment below on this video, of course, but you can also DM me on Instagram. I usually respond pretty quickly. That's one of the ways I like to connect with the community and the people that follow me, and that's how I get to know people as well. So without further ado, I am out. I'm gonna finish my coffee. It's probably cold right now. I'm gonna and probably grab something to eat. So I will catch you guys on the next one. See ya.